Hello everybody, my name is Will and welcome back to Flyout Community Creations episode, a few. Today, you may have to forgive me somewhat if my voice is a little bit hoarse. I am still coming off the back of a cold. You're all going to comment that I always get a cold, but that's rude, frankly. Anyway, we're starting off here with a cat with some wings strapped to it. This is called the Bow model. I believe it's designed to be a plane in the UFB, which is a Messier 82 thing. So, I mean, it's a cat, and it's got some jet engines, and one of them's in its butt. So, there you go. There's not really much to say about this. They say don't take it off from the runway, so we're going to take it off from the runway and see what happens. All right, here we go. There's a couple controls, but none of them are important on the ground, and I think that's bad. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube, actually. That's... Oh, look, it's a Jimmy. Okay, that didn't go very well, if I'm being frank. However, we can make up for this. We can make up for this. Yeah, oh, God, there we go. We have take off. We can press G to put the legs in. There you go. And now we have the cat in all of its combat position, I guess. We have rocket pods. We have some infrared missiles. There's no countermeasures because, quote, those are for cowards. They're for cowards. Countermeasures are for cowards. There you go. It's pulling 21 Gs, which is quite a lot, and it is going over Mach 1 at basically sea level. So that's a lot of thrust. We can almost definitely shoot down a target drone with this. And if we try to not pass out too bad, I'm sure the pilot's fine. The cat's laying in prone, which makes it slightly easier to take G-forces, I think is my understanding of physics, so I'm sure it's fine. At any moment now, we should get a lock. No? Really? Have I done... What have I... Oh, Oh, of course. Yeah, they come out of the eyeballs. Why wouldn't they? Why are the infrared missiles not locking on? Okay, there we go. Now they're locking on. I don't know why they weren't before. And kabam! Perfect. That that was an awful launch. It counts. It counts. Where's the... It says there's 2 more infrared missiles. I need to work out where those are. Hang on. I don't know if this is someone's cat, by the way. Doesn't say. It just says this is the Bow plane. I don't know if Bow is a cat. I'm assuming Bow is a cat. We got a smoke pod, apparently, with M. Yep, that's no surprise where that's coming out of. For goodness sake. Right, where's this last missile then? Because... Oh, yeah, that's good. It came out of the cat's mouth. Okay, sure. Why wouldn't it? Spawned in a surface-to-air missile 40 kilometers this way. I reckon we can take this thing out, no problem. We have run out of fuel. Whoops. Turns out, if you turn on unlimited fuel, but you're already out of fuel, it doesn't work. We probably can't take out this surface-to-air missile, is what I'm currently learning. Oh well. Okay, we've activated infinite fuel a little bit sooner this time. Now we should be able to take out a surface-to-air missile. There's something incredibly ominous about the way that the eyes on this thing just stare into your soul. Who came up with this and decided, yeah, that's something that I'll spend my day doing? The SAM has not yet fired at me, which I am somewhat shocked by. I can't imagine we are particularly stealthy, so... The reasons for it not shooting are somewhat beyond me. Alright, there's the missiles. That's what we were looking for. Well, not looking for. That's what we were expecting. And can we get out of the way of them in time? Yeah, easy, no problem. We just gotta get into position to get some rockets launched. Oh my goodness, it doesn't like mouse aim. It does not like mouse aim at all. Come on, rocket pods. Let's do this. No, a little bit that way. Just filling the entire countryside with rockets rather than going anywhere near this SAM. Come on. Oh, we're all out. Oh, that's the loudest noise in my entire life I've ever heard. Good lord. What is going on? Oh my goodness. I've never been so close to the SAM when it launches missiles before. We got to get out of here before any of these get round and lock on. Let's hit the ground. We're all good. Let's flee. Get out of here. Yo, we're catching up to a missile. Hi, buddy. How are you? Can we fly into it? Can we just ram this missile? Yes, we can! What is going on, man? Well, there you go. I think that's all that there is to show for the biblically accurate bow plane. This was designed by The Snooper in my Discord server, who does have the Messier 82 server tag. And in fact, I messaged Messier to confirm that this is something to do with him. So, I clearly need to get up to scratch with my Messier lore, because whatever is going on over there, I want to be part of it. This is great. It is said to be extremely difficult to land, so I am going to try and land it, and then we'll move on to the next plane, whether I succeed or whether I fail. Okay, we got the flaps out. We're coming in for a landing. Totally normal landing, nothing weird, nothing strange going on here. Let's extend the legs. There we go. We're all in landing setup. Now, I think at this kind of a speed, we've got enough to use the mouse aim. This is one of the camera angles of all time, for reasons that I'm sure you can work out and I don't need to say. We're gonna... There we go. Touchdown. Come on. Right, keep the nose sticking up. I don't think there's brakes. It doesn't look like there are. That's a horrible tire squealing noise. Can we quickly turn off the engines? Turn off the engines. Come on. Off. Off you go. Come on. Stop. Stop, you darn cat. No. We could be here for quite some time. This... What a view. Frankly, what a view. One of these days, this cat will stop. But I don't know if that day is going to be today. There is so little friction going on, and we are just summoning some kind of demonic cloud around us as we stop. There we go. We are stationary. We have stopped, and we've lost the... Alright, I'm moving on. Next up, we have something completely different. This is the Fenrir Luftfahrt FLC-1 by Ashen Imperium from my Discord. And this is, as quite obvious, is a World War I aircraft with a nice looking, it looks like some kind of inline engine. I'm going to guess inline rather than a V. Oh, I think it's got a modeled engine block here. There we go. There's the piston engine. Yeah, inline 6-cylinder engine. So it's very neat looking. I really like World War I aircraft, and this pattern that they've got on the wings really, really helps it. Also, these ailerons that kind of just jut out at a weird angle is something you see on a bunch of these old, like, fabric-covered aircraft, and I don't really know if it had benefits or if they just kind of didn't know how to do it any differently, but it's kind of fun. I do have some explicit instructions to remove the crosswind for this one, which causes a lot of problems in my videos, and I always forget exists. So thank you for reminding me to turn it off. I didn't turn it off for Bo, and luckily it didn't cause any problems. I'm just astounded by the detailing on this engine cowling and these little machine guns. Also, Jimmy's arm sticks out of it, but that's fine. You know, that's fine. Okay, right, let's quickly go into here and make sure there's no crosswind. There we go. And hit the engine. It's stalled. Hit the engine. There we go. She's playing ball. And that is relatively good acceleration for this thing. I was expecting a little bit less than that, but I mean, it's not going to break any speed records, but It's not the slowest World War I aircraft I've ever flown. I think that record probably goes to my own World War I aircraft I designed that one time. And up, maybe. Up, up, up. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Let's get our trim put in. Oh, God, I'm being a little bit overly jealous. English. Yep. That was me trying to say that I was being a little bit too overzealous with the inputs, but getting a little bit too flustered with the fact that I was being overzealous with the inputs, and forgetting how to say that I was being overzealous with the inputs. It is really a pretty looking aircraft. I love World War I biplanes. They're so goofy. We had no idea what we were doing. I think that sometimes shows with the different designs. This one's relatively sensible as World War I designs go, but you had some weird things with like 37mm recoilless rifles meant to shoot down zeppelins with pusher propellers at the back, and they were like 5 stories off the ground for no particular reason, and you needed a full height ladder to climb in. Great stuff. Absolutely great. On the interior here, she's relatively bare bones, but then again, so would be the real-life comparison. And these machine guns are really looking quite nice. And obviously not hugely powerful, but I imagine in real life quite a technological marvel, because these are obviously they've got a synchronous gear. One of them gears that means you don't shoot your own propeller off, which they only really came up with in the middle of World War I. And she flies relatively nicely. I mean, it's, you know, a biplane, so it's got quite a lot of agility going on and a stall speed which is really quite eye-wateringly slow. I do like the little winglet in between the wheels here. That's clever. Just getting a little bit of extra lift out of this surface, which otherwise would have just been a wooden beam. That's quite nice. And obviously, normally these kind of aircraft would have wing flexing, but this one has actual ailerons, so I don't know if wing flexing was particularly bad at making aircraft roll, or if it was just an alternative that we obviously couldn't do once we went over to stretched metal skin. But it's fun to see a World War I biplane which actually has ailerons. I also love this rudder with the top part sticking out in front, presumably as some kind of because we didn't have particularly powerful assistance on these control surfaces. I assume that bit is basically making it so that as the air goes over it, it's kind of counterbalancing the effects that would be pulling against the pilots. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Is that also why the ailerons are designed like this? Maybe I've come up with why they're designed like this. Can I do a loop-de-loop? I'm going to go with no. almost definitely not. I want to do a loop-de-loop now. I'm going to need to build up some altitude and then probably put her in a very steep dive if I want to do a loop-de-loop. Alright, it's been the world's longest climb to a not a particularly high altitude. This has taken a long time to just get here. We're going to go for it. We're going to put her into a dive. How fast can we get? Come on, we're going to need quite a bit of speed here. Quite a bit of speed. Hold it, and then pull up. Up into the loop. Uh-oh. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. I'm getting a really bad feeling about this. No, hang on. Yeah, there we go. That's a loop-de-loop. We did it. Jimmy lives to see another day. This is something that I could just fly around for a very, very long time. Oh, this is great fun. I should land it, though, before I get completely distracted, and we should move on to our next design. But this has been a spectacular little plane. I'm a huge fan. I think maybe the next plane I may want to come back and design a World War I biplane. I'm going to put that down on a piece of paper, and if I'm going to design a plane, I think I know what I want it to be. This has really inspired me. I want to do this now. Hopefully you see me design a World War I biplane at some time soon. I know it's not everyone's biggest interest, but boy, do I need something to get me back into designing planes in this game, because it has been a long time. And here we go for, oh god, a bit of an aggressive landing, but there we go. And once again, this also, oh, no, down, not that kind of down, in the middle down. There we go. No brakes is what I was trying to say before I very nearly destroyed the aircraft. But, you know, fabric and wood are famously durable, so we're all good. And there we go. That may be the shortest landing we've ever done. Granted, because the plane is, you know, like this, but it counts, all right? On to the next plane. I humbly apologize for all of you. I have told you a lie. It is not a plane. It is a helicopter. The Heli-Jeep, designed by Juliux 3310. And this is adorable. And there were a lot of mods I don't have. So this might not work. We'll find out. All right, here we are on the runway. Put the throttle up, and then we got to increase our collective, if I'm not mistaken, because we're in a helicopter, and there we go. It works. It very much works. And we're going. We're just flying around in a little helicopter. Give it a little bit more collective. We'll get a little bit more speed. She is pretty agile looking. I think I'm going to snap off some of these blades if I keep the collective that high. They were really flexing. This is just a tiny little adorable little helicopter. I love this thing. I don't know how much utility it would really have. We can press O to open the door. Wow, that's how you get in. That would not be easy to get in and out of. And if you need to jump out of this in an emergency, I don't think that's going to go particularly well for you. But it is pretty quick. Normally, helicopters kind of don't go a huge amount of pace forwards. I mean, obviously some of them do, but I can't say I fly too many in Flyout. So maybe I'm just chatting absolute waff. This is absolutely adorable. I really, really love this thing. It is just goofy, just a little bit goofy. We got some semblance of an interior there, and it is, I mean, you know what? Not actually a bad view, especially frontally. Backwards, not so great, but it's all right. You'd be able to do, I mean, whatever this thing does. I'm assuming that this is effectively just a transport for a single person into combat, or maybe there's room for a little bit of storage somewhere, but I'm imagining all of this underneath is used up by the jet engine that's powering the turbines, so I don't know what this would be used for. I have a feeling I'm overthinking it somewhat. I think it may have been designed because haha funny. Okay, in the last thing, we did a loop. Now, I might break this in doing so, but what if I do a barrel roll in this helicopter? I'm going to need more collective, which could risk the blades, but here we go. We're going to go get some speed up, get a little bit of altitude, and we're going to go drop the collective, roll, put the collective back up. Oh, yeah, no problem at all. This is great fun. You know that one guy who does like armor clips where he's flying a helicopter and does some crazy maneuvers and his bare feet are out? If you don't know who I'm talking about, that's going to sound like a really weird description. But if you do, you know it's an exact description. But I feel like he'd have a great time flying this. I am once again having a little bit too much fun goofing around in a little vehicle. Shall we try and bring her in for a landing? Should we go for that tiny building there? Let's see if we can land on that. That is challenge enough for me, I believe. I used to fly a lot of VTOLs in KSP back in today, so I think I should have sufficient... Oh, no, I don't have sufficient skill. I do not have sufficient skill. That would have absolutely destroyed the propeller blades in real life. Right, okay, I am getting all... Oh, God. I'm getting all flustered. No, that's not good. That's not good. That's bad. That's really bad. And landing. Perfect. Let's try for a proper landing. Come on. All right, here we go. I think I had the jet giving me some forward thrust before, which was probably not helping. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, this is embarrassing. Hang on. You know what? Let's go for a slightly bigger landing pad, shall we? Let's go for this rooftop. I have some practice that I need to... What the... Right. Okay. That counts, I guess, as a landing. I need to practice my helicopter landings in this game, clearly. Thank you so much for the submission, Juliix. But moving on. Next up, we have another design by Mad About Cars, Madak. And this is the MAC Aerospace Quail, Block 5. And this is a 234 megabyte file. It is rather chunky. And the engine is clipping through, which I'm not sure it's entirely meant to be doing. Either way, it looks quite nice, and I don't have the missile mod, but I do have the other mod, so hopefully that's the bit that makes it work. However, looking at this engine, we will find out. Okay, I'm a little bit scared of flying this one, but there's no time like the present. Let's go. Okay, I am frankly terrified. Let's see what we can do. We need to hold the brakes, turn on the lights, set the flaps to maximum. There we go, flaps on maximum. Press K and L to enable VTOL control. Okay. There we go. Set the throttle to 40%. Right. And then, that's close enough. Set the collective to minus 75%. Oh, God. Oh, God. Increase throttle until you lift off. There we go. Turn off the brakes and retract the gears. And then press L. Don't know what that does. Set collective to minus 30. Oh, God. That's close enough. And slowly increase towards 0. Oh dear, I see what's going on here, and I worry we don't have enough speed. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Save it, save it, save it, save it, save it. There we go, there we go. We're all good. Let's put these flaps in. Oh, we've done too much. We've done too much. I messed it up. I messed it up. Okay, skill issue. We try again. Something exploded immediately. That doesn't fill me with confidence. I'm gonna just trust that it's fine, and we're gonna carry on. Flaps to maximum. What was that? Throttle about 40%. There we go. Pitch forward. Set collective to minus 75. I think something important may have exploded. Oh, God. Maybe not. Maybe we're good. Bit more throttle. Bit more throttle. Come on. There we go. We're up into the air. Increase throttle until we lift off. Turn off the brake. Put in the gear. We are yawing quite heavily. But that should be okay. Press L. There we go. Collective to minus 30. We are really, really quite yawing. Quite badly here. There we go. Give us some more throttle, I guess. I'm assuming something has broken which is controlling our yaw, which is why it's going so horribly wrong right now. Let's give her a little bit less collective. A little bit less. A little bit less. A little bit less. And in theory, we are facing a mountain, which isn't good. That's not the theory that I was talking about, but, you know, we are flying and plane, and if we start to put in the flaps, we should now have enough lift to kind of exist while in the air. I'm hoping. Gonna have to give her a little bit more than that. It is rolling quite hard to the left. I really do think we have broken something, but we are flying. We are definitely flying. Bear in mind, if anything weird happens now, I chose to go ahead with this launch because it takes a long time. It's a long loading time when you spawn this thing in. It is a big file, but this is looking really, really cool. I love the detailing and the weathering on this thing. And on the inside, yep, there we go. We've got an interior. We've got a bunch of controls, which I'm assuming... oh, hang on. I need to press K and Control T. I feel like K was meant to be on before. This turns on the fly-by-wire. I see. Huh. Okay. It looks like the VTOL stabilizer wasn't on. That would probably be why it didn't feel very stable. Ooh! My game's crashed. Oh, no. All right, we try again. We try again. This time, nothing has exploded. Turning on the brakes. Right. Okay. We need to press K and L. That enables hover and lights. We're going to set our throttle to 40%. This is definitely going already better than last time because we're not yawing crazily. Let's go for 41%. Pitch forward. Now to 75 collective. That was a little bit dangerous, but we're all good. There we go. Right. Keep the throttle increasing until we take off. Turn off the brake, retract the gear. Press L. Gonna give it more throttle. Drop the collective to -30. Okay. Definitely had something off last time that should have been on. Turn it down. Keep giving it more collective until we get to here. We're gonna need to pitch up, but that's okay. And 10% collective. Press K and Control T. I don't know if Control T is really doing much, but there we go. Now it's crashed my game again. That is a stunning plane. It looks incredible, and it is very easy to take off. I would love to inform you about its other characteristics, but unfortunately, it keeps killing my flyout. Once again, I don't know why, but there you go. It says, found weightless part in the MI8 mod, in my little mod loader console that's come up. So if that helps you at all to debug why it's going wrong, then there you go. I'm probably doing something wrong, if I'm being entirely honest. We're going to move on to our next plane, but thank you so much for that submission. That is really cool. It didn't crash my game. Look at that. Isn't it nice? And last but not least for today, designed by Atka, we have the MiG-21 BIS. It is obviously a replica of the real-life MiG-21 BIS. We have a lot of bits going on here. This was quite the loading time as well. Not quite as much as the previous one, but still a fair amount. We have a lot of controls, and we're just gonna have to hope that I can follow them, because there is once again quite a complicated instruction set for taking this thing off. It is, after all, a MiG-21. Look at the wings, they're not very big. Okay, first time I loaded this in, the world disappeared. We're back. We're going to try. Everything looks a bit weird, but don't worry about it. We have a canopy that'll open on slash. That canopy is currently open, and frankly, I can't get it to close. Oh, no. That's not good at all. Are you gonna close under any circumstance? Ah, there we go. That is a very different control to the one that I thought it would be. I think we may have a different keyboard layout to whoever set these controls up. No, it's gone again. All right. Hang on. We can maybe buy ourselves enough time for a takeoff here. Set. Oh, no, we can't. Damn. Well, that was a very cool plane. I'm gonna have to find a new final plane because this is just disappointing. Oh dear. Before we move on to this new final design, I think it's only fair to give you one last look around this design, just because it is very nice looking. It is very pretty, very well presumably made, and I'm sure it flies great. Unfortunately, my flyout really doesn't want to play ball today. Okay, new last but not least, we have the Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. This is designed by Dogeman, and there we go. Okay, spoilers, there's no interior. Well, I mean, I don't know, there's probably a Yeah, there's an interior in the cockpit, but there's no passenger interior. But this is just a 787 replica, and as you can see, it is looking very much like a 787, which is what you want from a Boeing 787 replica. These are some very intimidating General Electric turbofans. I believe that's the General Electric logo there. You see that on a washing machine or a GAU 8 Avenger. Very nice. Okay, here we are on the runway, and we have a lot of standing thrust. So there we go, got the brakes on. We've got some doors for the cargo. There they are, cargo doors. We have APU service doors, which are almost definitely somewhere. I'm imagining those are very small, and therefore I cannot see them because I suck. Would normally be at the back, if I'm not mistaken. Would it be there? I don't know. I can see a little seam, but I can't see a door opening and closing. I have managed to hit the spoilers button, so there you go. Those are the spoilers. We have, obviously, the usual control. We can control our pitch, trim, and stuff with the collective keys. We have wing root lights somewhere, maybe? Oh, yep, there they are. There's the wing root lights. We have exterior lights, obviously the landing gear. I think, other than the entry doors, bing. Oh, they open nicely. That's a very satisfying opening sequence. Yeah, I believe that's about all there is to show you while we're on the ground. Let's give her some throttle and go to take off. I set the flaps a bit too aggressive, but there we go. We've solved that. And we want to get a little bit more speed than this before we start our rotation to take off. We need just a bit more. Probably about now. And here we go. Ooh, come on. That's it. There we go. She's up in the air. And some very strong wing flexing going on. I have forgotten to take off the crosswind, but we're a heavy enough plane that it didn't really affect us, so that's fine. We will put those flaps in. Look at that wing flex. That is crazy. It's probably because I am pulling some fairly aggressive maneuvers for one of these planes. And there we go. We are flying, and there's not much really to say other than this is a very pretty looking plane. Here is the interior, and we are getting horrible glare from the sun, so you can barely see it, but whoops. Bear with me, I'm just flying like a lunatic to get the sun to be on the back of the plane so we can see the cockpit a bit better. Alright, there you go. We got all of our dials on the roof and all of that stuff. My co-pilot's gone missing. I'm sure that's fine. All of our little screens and stuff. It looks like most of these are just a texture, so they're not actually going to work, but that's fine. Ooh, there we go. The throttle levers do work, and I'm presuming, yeah, the landing gear lever and stuff like that all work, which is fun. Very nice. I have confused the landing gear doors with the controls that I was pressing. Oh dear. There we go. They must be on a timer. Also, what I noticed while I was being a little bit insane, you can pull some fairly aggressive maneuvers. I'm presuming only really limited by the amount of fly-by-wire this thing has, but look at that. Yeah, 2.8 Gs. Look at that wing flex. Oh, never let me be an airline pilot, man. It would not go well. Alright, because I can feel my physical form degrading as I do this video, and you can probably hear it in my voice. I am going to bring her in for a landing. I don't know why. I've been feeling fine for like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, yeah, I can do a video. Do a video. Dies. So I got to touch down in this thing before I collapse, and I'm going to go make myself a nice cup of tea. Oh my goodness. But it's fine. We live. We can land a 787 while I am dying of a cold. It's all good. To be fair, it's probably hay fever. I mowed the lawn for the first time in the new house today, which, you know, was quite the experience. So maybe it's all the pollen I've released into the air that's done it. All right, spoilers out. Let's get these flaps out as well. Come on. Landing gear down. I'm 450 kilometers an hour. That's a perfectly reasonable speed. Here we go. Hit the air brakes. Let's go. Stop the plane. I need to go take care of myself. We should be okay for a pretty rough landing here. We're fairly early on the runway. We're going to touch down. And that was the single loudest noise in the universe. Oh, God. Yeah, I was warned that might happen. I didn't expect the noise, but I was warned, and I didn't exactly do a very good landing. So, there you go. I would love to give this another go, but this has been a long video, and I can feel my physical form actively degrading as we talk. So thank you so much, Dogeman, for this upload, and thank you everybody who's watched this for sticking with me. I know recently the uploads have been a little bit inconsistent, but the amount of submissions that I got for this episode and the amount of really, really cool designs like this one, which I've just not been able to put into the video. I mean, originally this one wasn't going to be in the video, but it is in the video now. There's a bunch of really cool stuff. And it's not that I am trying to ignore those who haven't been added. It's just I gotta pick 5, and ultimately I'm kind of picking at random, somewhat picking with what people want to see. I don't know. I'm kind of just guessing what is going to do well. So I apologize if your designs haven't got in. I do really, really look at all of them. I honestly mean that. And I am so sorry that the uploads have been so inconsistent lately. I do want to get back into designing planes. I want to get back into a proper upload schedule. I think I'm going to try some things for personal organization, see if I can improve that a little bit. And hopefully, going forward in the future, we will have a little bit better of an upload schedule for you guys. But for now, that's all for today. We'll see how many days it is before the next upload, and I'm going to go take care of myself, have a cup of tea, maybe a hot bath, and I will see you in the future. Goodbye. And as always, a huge thank you to YouTube super supporters Cody Fox, Pikes Number, Yoki the Cheeser, Marlon Goiken, Dark Ostler, Black, Doggy Arch, Doug3, Peter Holmes, Peter Seifert, Camjam135, and Terra. And a huge thank you to the regular tier supporters as well.